Hello again. In writing sentences today, our story is called Let's Flip. And we will be thinking about using speech marks and using an apostrophe. Oh, that looks an interesting photo. Although maybe with the title, you guessed it had something to do with gymnastics. Our first sentence is, Kim looks at Lind filming a handstand into a flip. We'll split it up into smaller parts to write it. But have a think, because we now leave a space at the beginning of each paragraph. Kim looks. Where will you start writing? Right at the edge or in a little bit? Kim looks. Kim. We need a K because K is followed by I. Kim looks. How did you get on with the sound in looks? Well done if you remembered that we use double O. At. And that fitted on the line. But when we go down, we won't need to leave this space. So we can be right at the left side of the page. Lind filming. It's an unusual name, isn't it? Lind. Lind. We need a capital letter. Lind filming. So we have film and we just add suffix ing. A handstand. A is all that will fit in that space. Hand. And then stand rhymes with it. Hand. Stand. Into a flip. Into, and we join those two words together. A flip. I'd go splat on the long pink mat, thinks Kim. Poor Kim. I'd go splat. And we'll put what she thinks in speech marks. I'd. That's short for I would. But we only use the capital I and a D because there's an apostrophe in the middle. Speech marks. There we go. I'd. Capital I. Then an apostrophe to show that there are missing letters and a D. I'd go splat. Spool in that word. Spool. Splat. On the long pink mat. But we'll just write on the long and then a comma. On the long. Now, did you hear I pronounce the G so you'd be sure of how to write it? And a comma. We're using two describing words, long and pink. So we put a comma in between them. Pink, mat. Pink, mat. And then an exclamation mark. So we know just how she's feeling. And speech marks. Because that's the end of what she's thinking. Thinks Kim. Did you have your teeth on your tongue for the beginning of thinks? Well done. Thinks Kim. But somebody has obviously seen her worried face. Let's do one half of it, said Lib. Okay, good plan. Now, we're going to go down a line and it's another new paragraph. Let's do. And this is spoken, so what do you need? Speech marks. Let's do. How did you get on with let's? Did you remember the apostrophe for the missing letter in us? Let's do. One half. One is a word that needs first sound spelling. Oh, naughty elephant. Because he's filled his trunk with water and sprayed everybody. And when he holds up his trunk to do that spraying, it looks a bit like the number 1. Let's do one half of it. 1 oh naughty elephant. Half of it. So we had 2 words where we needed to think. 1, oh naughty elephant. Maybe with the word half, you use the spelling language we talked about in writing words. Half. Saying half is a great way of remembering which letters to use. So, let's do one half of it, said Lib. Said Lib. And then she carries on speaking. So because she is still speaking, we don't need to go down a line, but we will need to put more speech marks. Hands on the mat and lift. What do you think they lift? If it's a handstand, I reckon it's their legs. Hands on the mat. So, more speech marks to show she's speaking. And then hands. On the mat. And lift. And there's Kim having a good go. She got the first bit. This is carrying on from what Lib has been saying, so we don't need a new paragraph. And lift. And here we end the speech marks because Lib is busy doing the first part of what they were watching, a handstand. The next sentence, we will start a new paragraph because this is Lind that we're going to be talking about. Lind spots them and films them too. Lind spots them. Let's write that first. Lind spots them. Spots them. Teeth on your tongue. And films them too. And films them too. This too has a double O. Thanks, Lib. That helped me a lot. Let's get milk. I'm hot. That's the last bit. They must have been working very hard. So we're going to go down a line, and what else do we need to do? Have a think. Thanks, Lib. Speech marks, and did you remember to go in a little bit? Thanks, Lib. And that's the end of her first sentence. That helped. Help. And then which suffix do we add? Helped. Suffix ed. That helped. Sounds like t, doesn't it? That helped me a lot. Me a lot. I think Kim is quite happy now that she can do that bit. Let's get milk. Let's have a think. Let's We have an apostrophe for a missing letter. Let's get milk. That's the end of that sentence. And the last sentence, I'm hot. So have a think about I'm. Have the word I, and then and an exclamation mark. We know how hot she is, and probably how thirsty as well. And did you notice? I was doing this really quickly, and I've written the word I with just a straight line instead of putting a line across the top and the bottom. But it's okay to do that. If this isn't going to confuse you with the number 1 or the letter L, if you're printing, then you can write the word I like this. I'm hot. So 2 hard-working wee bunnies get themselves a drink of milk. Half a carton each by the look of it. Now, you can type up your story, and remember, if you can think of any changes, then you can do that by all means. But have a go at reading it to somebody first. Let's have a look at the story that I've typed up, and we'll read it. You can ask somebody to read it to you if you would like to. Just mute, and then you can see exactly what I'm going to read, because I will put this red circle at the end of each sentence. Let's flip. Kim looks at Lind filming a handstand into a flip. I'd go splat on the long pink mat, thinks Kim. Let's do 1/2 of it, said Lib. Hands on the mat and lift. Lind spots them and films them too. Thanks, Lib. That helped me a lot. Let's get milk. I'm hot. How did you get on? Thank you for joining me, and enjoy reading your story. Well done.